Hello, welcome to the Black Salt Mirror. Today we have a song message for somebody. If you do symbols, I guess, but it's a song. It's Bad Angel by Lisa, and I think his name's Amiran. I haven't heard it pronounced though, but it won't leave my head. So if that means something to you, it's for you. And I will do a tarot pull from the Muse Tarot one-handed because my other hand is occupied here. We have the Tower. And this is upright for this Tower card, which is interesting. Lightning also has a very particular significance to me, so it might to you as well, since it's coming out of this card. And I've talked a lot about the upside down that this collective is kind of part of, how things shifted. Normally the tower is an actual tower and there are people falling out of it, and you can see here the little figure kind of diving or falling, but this figure is upright, standing on something that looks like it's falling, except it looks like she's pushing it up with her magic, I guess. So things are backwards for you. That could mean if you're hearing a lot of messages about difficulties people are going to start going through, that doesn't count for you because you're not part of that. The astrology that's happening, the big conglomeration in Aries, it's going to be hard for a lot of people, and apparently a lot of people are having trouble with things like electronics breaking and mechanics breaking, and Aries kind of disrupting things. You're not going to experience that. Things are going to go really well for you. And the Tower is represented by Mars, which is at home in Aries, but Mars and Aries are not the same thing. Mars is destructive, and Aries is, the signs are kind of like a vibe. The houses are like which parts of your life the vibe is in, and then the signs they align with are the vibe of that area of your life. And Mars is like an arrow. It actually has the arrow on it, which can be a passionate arrow, a directional arrow, a very focused arrow. It can be a violent kind of an arrow. It can be a sexual arrow. Mars is also that kind of passion, all kinds of passion. So these are your passions, and they are moving things, and they're taking this debris up. Now is the time that you can move things with your passion, which is an interesting way of saying something I've been saying for a long time. Queen of Materials. Now is your time of growth. From the destruction of Scorpionic Mars, and I do think of the Tower as Scorpionic Mars, is the opposite in Taurus, which is what's going to happen after Aries. The moon is very briefly going to be part of the Aries party, but the moon moves very fast, switches signs every 2.5-ish days. And then she's in Taurus and she's grounded, and the moon loves to be in Taurus. Loves it. Because Taurus is beautiful. Taurus is the delicate flowers that all of the earth and decay and like the gripping roots and all the infighting with plants. If you don't know about plants and like their root fights, it's a very interesting thing to research. They do warfare over resources. I mean, most of nature does because resources are finite, but plants will have chemical warfare among the roots, and then they grow up and they try to take all the good light and block it out for everybody else so that they can get it all, so the other trees around them can't grow up and black out their light. Certain trees do certain colors of light. And oddly enough, I'm being told that this is a message about community and who you align yourself with now. It's very important to make sure that the people in your life are working for you. And there are a lot of ways that people in your life can work against you even if it's not a conscious thing, if it's competing or jealousy or just negative thoughts. I saw another reader say that when people tell you things like you look sick, or are you not feeling well, or these kind of things that sound like concern, that they're negative thoughts still, and it's a kind of a projection. I think she described it as a hex. And that really spoke to me because I've experienced that a lot in my life. And it never feels good to be told those things, and it doesn't seem productive. And the people that they've come from, I don't think that they mean it well, subconsciously. So look around you and see how supportive the people are in your life, like when it comes down to it, or whether they just go through the motions of support when it's convenient or low stakes. Because there are going to be, in the future, nearish future, there are going to be times when it matters a lot. And if the people in your corner aren't actually in your corner, and they're going to flake, or they're going to find ways to make it about them, or they're going to, they told me to pull this, say bad things about you. This came out in reverse. It's the 5 of emotions, and she's crying here. I don't know if you can see. She's got this little tear in her eye. This doesn't like to focus on the cards. Anyway, there's a tiny tear here, and then there's this huge droplet in this water that she's standing in. And it looks like she's pulling it out of the ice. Every little drop by itself seems insignificant, but together they can drown you. And you need to start being really cognizant of what people are taking from you in tiny portions that you're writing off, and in what ways they throw off your joy and your balance and your equilibrium with little sadnesses, that like the things that can't. I've always thought of negative thoughts as spider webs, in the way that if you put your hand on the spider web, it's really sticky and hard to get off. And positive thoughts are like sunshine. You can feel it warm on your skin, but it doesn't linger very long. You have to stay in the sun. And eventually it will get chilly, and you'll get hungry or cold, and you go. So the way that human brains are, and the way our emotions are, negative thoughts stick with us a lot, and they ruminate, and they can get up in your brain, and they can weigh you down at other times when you need to be joyous. And they're saying that needs to stop now. That's what you need to focus on right now, is who around you is slowly like chiseling away at you, even if you don't think they're doing it on purpose. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the result is the same. And you can't afford any more drops in the water. You need to focus on your emotions and uplifting yourself and blossoming, and focus on regaining your power, because every little negative thought, these little hexes that they get to you, they diminish your power, because they're obstructions between you, your will, and manifesting. And the more you let them in, the more you will believe that you can't have anything. And you can. If you're here listening to this, you can. Let's see. 2 of Voices. I feel like that's exactly what I was saying. In reverse. There's the door. This is what it looks like in reverse. You can see the hands lifting up the doorway here, and the full-on arms pushing away this woman here with these ropes of black. Oh, their hair. Oh, those are 2 women mirrored, and their hair's tangled. They look like arms, random disembodied arms to me from that angle. But that's what I was seeing, is that And there's the lightning again in the doorway. Positive associations, positive thoughts, positive words, positive people will help lift you up. But negativity will not only push you down, it will push you away from this, which is also being lifted up. So it's very important now that you stay above it all, that you are very discerning and you don't ignore the things that people say about you and to you and the opinions that they express of you at unimportant times. Because most people will try to say flattering things when it's important to be heard saying flattering things, like when there's a major accomplishment. If you're surrounded by the kind of people that are going to denigrate you in public, even at times, like when it's a major accomplishment, then you know you have your work cut out getting rid of these people. But sometimes it's more subtle than that. Sometimes it's just not quite kind comments, or like, oh, you've lost weight, which isn't exactly a compliment. And it's also kind of an insult, and it's also kind of irrelevant. And there's like a whole lot to unpack there. And why would you say that? I've been getting a lot of messages lately about the importance of word choice and how there's apparently a whole interrogation strategy. Hang on. Okay, forget what I was saying before. That was a very clear sign that I didn't need to go into that particular. Word choice is very important, though. People who speak languages natively have spent their entire lives learning about words and choosing them particularly. And even though some words are synonyms, the choice of words is very telling. And that's where they want me to leave that off. Page of inspiration in reverse. You want your creativity to float. You want to remain grounded and manifesting, but you want a certain levity and lightness to your creativity and your connection to spirit. And you need to work on removing right now anything that's in the way of you connecting to your inner child, your creativity, your art, your essence, and fully living comfortably as yourself. I'm saying remove anything that is making you feel embarrassed or nervous about expressing yourself fully as you. And the last card is the Muse of Emotions, which is where you're going to, when you are fully expressing yourself, the water just flows out of you and you get more of it back as it reflects from you to other people and feeds in a loop as you fully embody who you are. When you have to do the work, though, of removing anything that's weighing you down like an anchor. I will stop there, and I will see you very soon. I love you.